How's it going, YouTube? What's up, subscribers and potential new subscribers? It's your boy KSK Sports here, and y'all see the title of this one. Who will start week one? Before I get into the video, I've been partially monetized on these YouTube streets, so if you want to, I'm not begging or asking, but I'm just going to throw it out there, softball out there, that I am partially monetized, and if you want to give a super thanks, you're more than welcome to. I understand if you don't, times is rough out there. The economy, everything, man. It's people struggling, and I am beyond blessed right now. But in your heart of hearts, if you feel like dropping $1 or $2 to your boy for a super thanks, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for y'all's support. I know, Miss Dookie, you said something, congratulating me on my 700 subs. I appreciate you. Proud FBA, I see your comments from time to time. And of course, my boy Big Will, BTSN Sports Network. He's doing some great things. Check him out, man. He's really, he's gonna blow up. His page, well, this channel, my bad. His channel's gonna blow up, man. His is the next one that's like, it's going to take off meteorically, in my opinion. He got everything over there. So check my boy Will out over there on BTNS Network. I'm doing my thing over here. This is kind of like a side project of mine. My main focus is really on my Facebook page. Check me out over on Facebook. I got 10,000 followers. Your boy got some motion over here. I'm trying to get a little bit of motion over here. I'm trying to get monetized over here. And, I'm not as... I don't want to say invested on this as I am on Facebook. Facebook is my baby. This kind of my side chick. But you can't say you wild for that one. I am wild for that one. My bad. I apologize. I was stepping out of line a little bit there. But getting back to what this video is about, who will start week one? Is it going to be Shedeur? Is it going to be Deshaun? Is it going to be Dillon Gabriel? God no. Who's so. But I put Dillon Gabriel on a graphic because I saw a graphic, AI graphic online. I'm like, hey, I can make a pretty good thumbnail out of that. So let's broach this topic right here. So let's start with Dillon Gabriel. The clear and obvious choice not to start for the Cleveland Browns this season. Dillon last year, that was Kevin Stefanski's boy. He got reps with the ones as a rookie, as a third-round pick. A lot of people, they were scratching their heads at that. Even the Cleveland Browns reporters that hate Shedeur, even they was kind of looking at that sideways like, y'all. Oh, yeah, I believe Zach Jackson of The Athletic. He's on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Sometimes he be saying some unsavory stuff about Shedeur. Not as much as Jason Lloyd or Chris Fedor or some other people. But Zach Jackson, like, he be at the Browns practices, and he saw him first. He said the first thing he said when he saw him was like, "That's Dillon Gabriel. He's really short." And optically, being under 6 foot, he's listed at 5'11", but he looks a lot smaller. Now he might be 5'11". I'm 5'9", so I don't want to put down another fellow short king, so to speak. But I'm also not trying to play football in the NFL. All right, I'm just sitting talking mess on YouTube and Facebook. I'm just a guy, pontificating and doing commentary on YouTube and Facebook. I'm not really trying to do anything athletic. I'm not, size helps in sports. People that try to say the contrary, you're not being real with yourself. All right, I played on my varsity team, and I found I was the shortest person on my team. It was a definite disadvantage to me. I was taking charges, all 5'9", 135 pounds of KSK in high school. I was taking charges against a guy that played football that was one of our starters. He was like 6'2", 300 plus. I had to go in there and take charge because I wasn't a starter. So it's like, hey, man, go in there and take the charge. Took the charge, flew back like 5 feet. Oh, you gotta take your lumps, man. You gotta take your lumps. But Dillon Gabriel, I mean, God bless his heart, but he's not a real option to start. Todd Monken has pretty much saying the loud part out loud. I mean, the reps that Dillon Gabriel has gotten at voluntary mini camp, the 3 days that was in April, right after the draft. Then you got the OTAs, organized team activities, and you had voluntary mini camp. Throughout all that, Dillon Gabriel barely got any reps at all. All right, didn't get any reps with the ones. So that just tells you right off rip that Todd Monken really doesn't have a lot of faith in Dillon Gabriel. And I don't have a lot of faith. And there's still people that come to my comment section and they're like, well, Dillon Gabriel had a better season than Shedeur Sanders. I mean, did you actually watch the games? Or are you just going based solely on QBR and EPA and touchdown to interception ratio? Look, Dillon Gabriel's touchdown interception ratio was 7-2. If you actually watch those games, his ADOT was not a lot. His ADOT was like less than 6 yards. ADOT is average distance of target. Less than 6 yards is terrible. And Dillon Gabriel's short, so he's doing a lot of pistol and shotgun formation, so he's already further back from the pocket. So throwing 6 yards down the field is kind of like throwing at the line of scrimmage almost. I mean, how many times did we watch the game as Browns fans and was like, man, Dillon Gabriel's really pushing that ball down the field. Like, anybody could go in there and, perform how he did. He didn't take any risk. Anybody could go in there and run an offense where, you're 22 for 32, throwing for 170 yards. Yeah, pretty much any quarterback in the NFL that got drafted can do that. Your third string quarterback could do that, do a 22 for 32, 171. Anybody could do that in the NFL. That's not setting the bar too high. But Dillon Gabriel's not a real option. So let's get him out the way. Plus, I mean, the graphic looks better with 3 quarterbacks on it. So let's get him out the way. So let's get to the real crux of it. Who will start week 1? Shedeur Sanders or Mr. Deshaun Watson, Mr. Massage himself? Let's start with Deshaun Watson. I mean, the team just recently came out and they got $88 million back in insurance credits. So that was the biggest contribution that Deshaun Watson has given the Cleveland Browns. Since he's been in the Cleveland Browns jersey, we're getting credits back. So it's like maybe they might be able to sign a free agent this year with that extra cap space. But that's been Deshaun Watson's biggest contribution to the Cleveland Browns. That the Cleveland Browns are able to get insurance credits because he was injured in 2024 and 2025. Hey, you got to get in where you fit in, pretty much. But Deshaun got a real chance of starting. I'm not going to put it at 0. But I think the Cleveland Browns are giving Deshaun a good look. I don't really think in their heart of hearts that they want to start Deshaun. I think the thing is with this competition, this is a competition for Shedeur Sanders to go out and seize it. All right? Shedeur Sanders, this is your lifeline right here. Okay? If you cannot seize this opportunity to be a starter for the Cleveland Browns, I don't want to clap because people say that me clapping is very distracting. So I'm trying not to clap. I'm really being cognizant of not clapping because I do watch back my videos, and whoever made that comment, you guys are absolutely correct. I was doing a lot of clapping. So I'm very cognizant of not trying to do that. But it's like I like to get the conversation going. I gotta have some movement so that my ideas flow when I'm talking, because I'm doing this off the cuff. I got little notes in my head that that I go through before I get on that I want to touch, but most of this is like free flowing and just off the dome. because these are my thoughts at the time of making this. So I like that rawness aspect of it. I don't like highly edited stuff out there. I think there's a place for it, but I like to cut off the cuff. And I like to just give y'all what I'm thinking right now about this particular topic. But yeah, I believe the competition is a competition where the Cleveland Browns, they really want Shedeur Sanders to seize the starting position. That's what they want. And where is Shedeur going to start outside of Cleveland? People say, they're like, he might be better somewhere else. Better in what way? It might be a better system, but it's not better for him trying to start. Cleveland is the absolute best situation for Shedeur Sanders to start. You have to look around the NFL. Where else would Shedeur be given this golden opportunity to start 1 of 30? Remember, there's 1 of 32. This isn't college where you can be like, yeah, well, I think I can go to Colorado and, I could play there. There's so many options in college football, and you get to pick where you go. Where in the NFL, it's not NIL. You don't get to pick and choose where you go. That's where I disagree with a lot of y'all Shedeur fans out there. I love y'all and I respect y'all opinions, but that's not how it works in the NFL, where you're just like, I get to pick and choose where I go. It doesn't work like that. Shedeur has an opportunity to seize a starting quarterback position for a franchise that is pining for a franchise quarterback. Now, it doesn't matter what the Cleveland media had to say about Shedeur. We already know they hate him. All right, it doesn't matter. What matters is that Shedeur seizes this opportunity. And Deshaun Watson, I don't think Deshaun Watson, because the last time I saw Deshaun Watson on the field, he was terrible. He was bad. I think Andrew Berry, Jimmy Haslam, Todd Monken, they're all looking at the situation. They saw what he did in 2024. I'm sure Todd Monken's put in the tape of 2024 and looked at Deshaun as like, yeah, I might be able to work with that, but I think I would much rather mold Shedeur into what I think Shedeur can be. Because people leave out with a veteran quarterback. It's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. And with Shedeur, I think it's easier to mold Shedeur into what Todd Monken wants him to be, as opposed to trying to put together and fix it with a quarterback that used to have it in Deshaun Watson, but now does not have it. Deshaun does not have the juice anymore. Shedeur got all the juice. The locker room loves Shedeur. His teammates love him. The team loves Shedeur. All right? The community loves Shedeur. And at the end of the day, optically, and the NFL at the end of the day is also an entertainment business. I'm pretty sure that the commissioner is like, hey, I would rather see Shedeur out there than Deshaun. I think everybody would rather see Shedeur out there than Deshaun. But here's the thing, Shedeur has to go out and win that competition. I think that everybody's getting wrong about the competition. They're trying to make it seem like it was Deshaun's starting position and that Shedeur is way behind and Shedeur got to catch up to Deshaun somehow. How is Shedeur supposed to catch up to a position that he already has? Shedeur is a QB1. Todd Monken has not said anything to the contrary. So how does Deshaun Watson have a mythical position that he never held in 2025? He was injured. He got his job taken by Shedeur at the end of the year. Shedeur is the incumbent QB1 until Deshaun takes that from him. That's how I see it. But the ultimate question, who will start in week 1 for the Cleveland Browns? I think ultimately it's Shedeur Sanders. I think Shedeur Sanders is going to win the competition at training camp because he's the better quarterback at this point in his career. And I think Todd Monken is going to see that. I think Todd Monken has already seen that. I think Todd Monken has already made up his mind, if we're going to be honest. And I think going into training camp, he's going to be like, it's just going to be some reaffirmations of what Todd Monken already knows, what Jimmy Haslam already knows, what Andrew Berry already knows, what a lot of Browns fans already know, that all this Deshaun Watson talk is just it's a whole bunch of fluff. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you start Deshaun Watson? He has no future with the Cleveland Browns. If you're trying to figure out if Shedeur Sanders is your quarterback, then why wouldn't you give him every opportunity to go out and start week 1 and then give him as much as a runway as needed to see if he's that guy? If he falls flat on his face, then all right. Deshaun Watson's a lame duck quarterback anyways. So what sense does it make to throw Deshaun out there first, have him flop, and then go to Shedeur Sanders, knowing that if you do that, you're not gonna keep Shedeur Sanders after 2026 anyway? It doesn't make any sense to me. You push Shedeur out there first. You see if he's your franchise guy or not. You see if you can win with him. If they go out and they're spectacular this year, then it's great. And you don't have to pick a quarterback. See, this with Cleveland media. They want Deshaun to go out there and flop so that Shedeur come in, knowing that they're going to have to go with a quarterback in 2027. That's not Shedeur. That's why they're pining so much for Deshaun Watson. They don't like Shedeur. They want Deshaun to go out knowing that he sucks. And knowing that the Browns are going to be bad. They're going to be in the same exact position like they were last year, with Shedeur coming in mop-up duty in games that don't really matter. They're out of playoff contention. And it's like, oh, well, we really don't know what we have in Shedeur for going into season 3. I'm like, oh, that's the worst thing that you can do. Worst thing you can do is start Deshaun Watson, him suck, and then you have Shedeur for another 7-game sample size, and you're unsure whether Shedeur is your guy going forward or if he's a backup. You need to know definitively if Shedeur is your franchise starting quarterback or he's not. All right, because Shedeur has to be your starter on your team, or it's going to be labeled that he's a distraction, whether that's right or it's wrong. All right, period. And that's all I have for this one. KSK rolling out. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for y'all support. I appreciate y'all. Peace.